In this video, you will learn 5 tips that are not only useful, but are cool things that you never knew you could do with the things you can find around you. The first is a way to make tea with a very common plant that you most likely see every day depending on where you are. This is called pine needle tea, and to make it, I harvested pine needles from a red pine tree. There are multiple types of conifers, like firs, spruce, cedar, and obviously pine. I recommend red pine, but white pine works too. Making this tea is pretty simple. I just threw some clean pine needles in hot water and let it steep like normal tea. It's about done when the needles have a washed out color, and it will have a very slight pine taste to it. The taste definitely reminds me of oranges, and that would make sense because pine needles are packed with vitamin C. So not only does it taste good, it has health benefits as well. The next tip may help you the next time you need to carry a large bundle of logs, like this. It's helpful because you have all this weight of the logs centralized in one nice handle. To make this, I basically just tied one large taut line hitch. I get in depth on how to tie this knot later, so keep watching. I think there are better ways of doing this, but what I do is I lay down the loop on the ground and then pile my logs, or whatever really, on top of it. Then I take each end, put one in the other, and cinch it down. This makes it tighter the more gravity pulls it. This holds really well and is being useful to me. I said I would get into how to tie that knot, so this is how you tie a taut line hitch. You basically tie a double overhand like this, and put the tag end behind the main rope and put it through the loop. Then you cinch it down. This knot works by having less slack the bigger the loop and having more slack with the smaller the loop. This makes that knot super helpful, like with that wood bundling tip I just showed, or making a shelter, like this one I made in my previous stealth camping video. Another knot I have found useful is the hangman's knot. It is tied by making a loop like this and wrapping it around and putting it back through. You can wrap it however many times you want, but I just do it once. It may seem like an obscure knot, but it's another one of those knots that cinch tighter the more something pulls within the loop, like this. The fourth tip is how to prevent bugs, but not just any bugs, specifically ticks. It's good to know your species of ticks. For example, these are all female deer ticks, which can spread Lyme disease. These are the American dog ticks, which can spread diseases, but they are not as much of a worry. So my favorite way to prevent ticks by walking is just to simply pull my socks over my pants, essentially tucking my pants into my socks. This is definitely the most effective way because ticks will crawl up your legs, so this gives you more time to spot them and brush them off, or for them to be brushed off by something else. Bug spray also works well, and you should use that too if you have any. The last tip is a way to make a simple debris hut. You first need to gather enough wood to where you think it would be enough to house you. Then I cut some of the sticks down to size because I'm going to put those as ribs later. But firstly, we need to make the tripod that the logs will go on top of. So, for that, I just tied 2 sticks of equal length together using a constrictor knot, making sure they are tall enough so you can slide under them easy. I do go more in depth on how to make this in a different video, so if you want, go watch that. Then I lay a stick that is taller than you over it so you can actually fit in there. You can start to see the shape of the shelter take place as I lay more sticks against it to be the ribs for the shelter. After that, it's just a game of finding whatever you can pile on top of that. I used bark. I also used debris from the ground because there's a whole lot of it. The whole point of the shelter is to get creative on with whatever you can find. It can be pine needles, which is great for water, or moss, which is great for everything and more. Then just throw any debris at the bottom for bedding. But that's about it for the shelter. It's big enough to fit me and super cozy and warm. It's also water resistant. I know there are some holes, but that water doesn't get in. But that's all 5 tips. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, click this video right here to see 5 other tips if you were a stealth camper. Anyway, please like and subscribe for more of my content. I work very hard on it. Peace.